Hey guys! Thank you so much for coming to watch my video. I truly appreciate any views. I'm new to this whole tutorial thing, so I'm just getting started, and I know that takes a while, but anyways, I saw a crazy cool technique online. I believe the lady's name is Sue Findley, but she used tinfoil, and she put resin over it. So what I'm doing is just drawing a design where I'm going to put the tinfoil, and then I'm just taking pieces that will fit over it and crumpling it up and then flattening it out. And I'm making sure I use a big enough piece to cover that section. And then I take some Elmer's glue and I just brush it and spread it around that section. And then I put the tinfoil back on and I rub it down nice and hard. And I also did it on the sides because I decided to keep the tinfoil on the sides as well. And then I just broke off some of the sections that were hanging off. And just make sure you flatten it out real good. I'm just cutting the excess off. And then I left it overnight to dry. You can, of course, leave it longer, but I think one night worked for me. So I'm just taking an X-Acto knife and trying to find that line where I made my design and cutting off the extra. It was kind of hard because you couldn't really see where the glue started. And maybe you should let it dry really for more than a night. Because when I did peel back the tinfoil, it kind of peeled where the glue was. So that made it harder to cut off, but it worked fine. So here I decided to add a design. I wanted the curves to come around and sort of spiral inward, making a circle. And I wanted the circle to be white, so I outlined it with a white paint pen and colored it in. And this is where I'm going to add some quartz crystal. So I wanted it to pop. So before adding the resin or anything, I'm just outlining the tinfoil and the circle in dark blue. And I continued it onto the sides as well, and this just helps with the sides to keep them the same colors. Well, like a consistent color. Now I'm taking some quartz crystals and I'm using 3 of them and just using a glue gun to glue them down. Then I'm taking some small glass pieces and pushing it to the center. I'm using a brush to kind of help me. And I just want it to look like the quartz is coming out of the glass. So now I'm just mixing up my color, and I'm using this mint green. And then I'm using a turquoise as well. And I'm keeping it transparent. I'm going to be mixing it with a bunch of glass pieces that I'm putting around the edge of the tinfoil sections. So I wanted it to just tint the glass. So there's the glass, and then I'm mixing in the resin. Now I'm just sort of spooning it onto the edges, and then afterwards going in and tightening up the line. And I'm going all the way around the circle. And this does take a while. But it works nicely. I could have done just a line of the glass and then put resin over it, but I wanted it to have that same tint that the tinfoiled area is going to have. So I'm just wiping off the extra resin. And going in with the heat gun, or at least I tried to. I didn't really need to. But I had so much extra of that resin, and it was going to be the same color as this area anyways, so I figured I would use it, and it just barely covered it. And then I tried adding some blue. But I wasn't happy with it. The tinfoil was coming through way too much, and it was just too transparent. So this is afterwards. But this is the next day. I'm adding a few extra pieces of glass to the center. And now I'm mixing in the color that's going to go on top of that same area, and I'm just going to make it darker. And then I'm also mixing up the color, which is a dark blue, and that's going to go in the background. And then I'm also making a opaque white, and I'm going to add some wave type designs. So as you can tell, that resin is definitely not as transparent. And I love that blue color, especially when it mixes with white. So I'm just drizzling the center with clear resin to cover those glass pieces, and then I'm covering this area again and pushing everything to the edges and down on the sides. And then doing the background. And then I'm going to add some white and kind of approach it like ocean waves, looking for those cells and that cool design. And I'm just adding more white. I was trying to make it look like where the two bodies intersected and came together. It was sort of a cyclone of waves and stuff, but it was hard to get into that area. So I just worked on the outside. And then I decided the center of that needed some blue. Which it wasn't really mixing well. sort of just going crazy with the heat gun here. So this is the next day, and oh no, actually this was just later, a few hours later when the resin was getting harder, but I still had time to add some more pieces of glass in the center. I just felt like it was missing something, and that line of blue I put in really wasn't working, so I decided to go in with some glass. And then I hit it with the heat gun, which was a mistake because pieces just started flying everywhere. So I had to pick them out. So this is my gold gilding paint that I got from Michael's, and I love it. But I'm just painting the edges of the tinfoiled area. I just thought it needed something. I just love the way the gold looks on top of the glass pieces. And then I sat with that design, and then I decided I wanted to bring the gold all the way around the circle area. I'm adding just a few more pieces of glass. Making sure it's level, which is so important. Mixing up my resin. And then I'm just first wiping it down with some alcohol. I had to sand a spot because I got some gold ink on it. So I sanded it down to like 1,000 grit. But I'm just drizzling the center glass pieces and then pouring the resin everywhere else. And spreading it around, making sure it goes off the sides. Then I'm hitting it with my heat gun. So this is called diamond dust, and it's the most amazing thing ever. Like, I sprinkle a bunch on top of the quartz, And then I'm sprinkling some over the glass in the center there. And it just makes it pop. Like in the light, it makes it glisten and you can see it from far away. It's awesome. So there she is. And you can, it's hard to see in the video, but you can see where it's glistening from the diamond dust. Came out pretty cool. It was definitely new idea, and I loved doing it, and I plan on incorporating it in different works I do in the future. Thanks again for watching, and if you want to like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Thank you.